What's going on, everyone? Jers here, and I'll be explaining the Saint story, the Saint family story. There's 7 members, and I'm just going to give you a rough draft that I have. I have not finalized what their story is. Keep in mind, these are all fantasy characters. I made them up. I made up the family. I made up all the names. Everything's just completely made up. They have nothing to do with the game, and yeah, so let's start off with their names. Their names don't have really any significance at all. I just liked how the names sound, and I just decided to keep the names, and that's it. Now, as for their first names, those... Well, actually, I just explained that. Why am I going to go over their first name? But the last name, I don't know why I picked that last name. I just picked it, the Saint name. It just sounded cool. But, the colors of their outfits, you're going to notice the sons all have the same outfit on, but they're all different color and all the kids are different sizes. And I'll get to that in a little while. But we're going to start off with the beginning of the story, which is with Saint Sai. This is just a rough draft, so I'm going to be skipping some things, just talking about probably the meat of the story. There's going to be no gameplay in this video, sorry guys. It's just, I guess, storytelling time. So we've got Saint Sai, which is the mother of all the children here. I'll explain who all the children are. Here's Saint Renault, Saint Kiru, Saint Washu, Saint Tai, and Saint Chan, their one and only daughter. Alright, so she is the mother of them and the wife of Saint Giram. And you're going to notice that there's 2 Saint Girams here. And there's a little significance behind that as well as to what happened. So there is rough times in her village. She lives in a very moderately poor village. They don't really have much money. She lives there with her parents and her brother. They're pretty much irrelevant. They're just there for story reasons. You're never really gonna hear about them ever again. But during these rough times, there's a war going on. A war for liberty, justice. They want freedom. They want to fight back, you know. And a warrior that was actually defending not necessarily their village, but a warrior that was defending their cause, if that makes sense, was wounded by their village, and that warrior ended up being Saint Giram. And this is Saint Giram what he was before. This is him at his prime, his honorable, his bravery. This is his honest form right here. This is him when he's honest. Here's his moveset. He fights like Wei Yan. You may disagree with the moveset, but I thought it was pretty cool. It looks good with the outfit. I like it. So, now Saint Giram, he was being taken care of by Saint Sai's family. They found him, and not right away, but over time of taking care of him and speaking with him and trading stories with him, she was able to gain an attraction to him, not for his looks, but for the way he carried himself. She liked his personality. She liked the things he was fighting for. She wished that, you know, her brother could be as brave as him, and she was really getting attracted to this guy. She was like, man, I like this guy. There was really no one in the village that had interest Saint Sai, or let's just call her Sai. There was no one in the village that really was appealing to her. And then they find Saint Giram. She didn't really care when they first found him. She was like, whatever, probably just another, you know, bloodthirsty loser, something that just likes to fight. She takes care of him. She sees that he's very kind-hearted. He loves, you know, he loves taking care of the people, and he likes having balance in life. He likes, you know, everyone to have an even, you know, like, here's an example, like an even, you know, like even helping or something. Like, he likes everything to be balanced. He doesn't agree with, you know, one family super rich and everyone else is starving poor. And that's the kind of guy he was. That's the kind of guy that she was falling for. And Saint Giram, he didn't really know what to think. He was in pain at the time. All he was doing was trading stories with Sai, and they would just talk and talk all day, talk all night while she's helping him, healing his wounds. And over time, they would eventually fall for each other, and they would eventually move out and do their own thing, which is, well, they move out, they get their own home. And let's skip a few things, but Saint Giram, after they move out, they get married, they fall in love, etc., etc. Saint Giram, the man that he is, he wants his wife to live the best life that she could possibly have. He wants her to live the way that he thinks she deserves to live. So he gets this this ambition that he wants to take over as much land as possible. He wants their family name to be very well known throughout their land. He wants their children to be very well known. He wants her to be living like a queen. This is how he's envisioning everything. He's like, I want her to live the perfect life. And Saint Sai is not really paying attention, really. She's not like, you're gonna go kill people to get land. No, she's just like, this is cute, you know, you want to do all this stuff because of me. Maybe you think I'm that important that you'll do all this stuff. And she's okay with it. She's like, okay, that's cool. She's not expecting him to go through with it. She's just expecting him to just say, you know, some big macho man stuff and not, you know, pull through. And over time, Saint Giram, his ambition, we're going to skip a bunch of things, but Saint Giram, he lets his ambition take control of his mind. And he's at this point, he's taken over about 3 pieces of land, and his hunger for land and power has grown drastically. He wants more, he wants more, he wants his family to live great. And over a course of a year, he gains another piece of land, and the ambition for power and blood, now it's not just gaining land, now he wants people to fear him. He wants people to fear his name. And he is now he is crushing people. He is killing people in villages just to put a message. If you mess with me, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna take your town, and you guys are gonna give me all your money, because I need to grow as rapidly and as quick and as fast, even though they all mean the same thing. But I want my name, I want my power to grow as fast as possible. So Saint Giram, eventually, through these evil intentions, is losing his pupil color. The more evil he becomes, the more color he loses in his eyes. And he had someone design an outfit for him, since he thought this outfit was for a commoner. He thought this was for a weak person, a weak warrior. Only a weak warrior would wear this. So he had someone design him an outfit, and here it is. And he said, thank you. This is fit for a demon king. And at the time, when he did all these changes, he lost his pupil color. Saint Sai had no understanding what was really going on with the eye color. She would see him when he came home and things would seem normal, but once he goes outside, it's like he's a completely different person, and she's a housewife. She would take care of things at home, wait for her husband to come home from supposable work, and she thinks things are normal, except his appearance seems to be changing drastically. So she doesn't understand anything about the eyes, what's going on. He's telling her, it's some sort of sickness, but I can still see everything. Actually, I can see things better now that I have no color in my eyes. And that sort of puzzles her. She doesn't really understand that. But Saint Giram wants to carry out his legacy even further. He says, Sai, I think it's time we move on to the next step. We're gaining so much land that I think we're going to need some children so they can take over what I leave off when I finally pass away. And over the course of the next several years, they do have 5 children. They have Saint Tai, Saint Washu, Saint Kiru, Saint Reno, and the one and only daughter, Saint Chan. And if you notice, she's the only one here with eye color. She came out pretty much a splitting image of her mother. Excuse me. Now, Saint Giram at birth, they all look like their father. They don't have eye coloration, so the mother's like, oh wow, they came out just like you. I wonder if they're sick too. And the father just knows when the children are born, he just knows that they're gonna be worthless to him. He's like, these children you gave me are worthless. And she is just appalled by what he said. She's like, what the hell do you mean they're worthless? They're not worthless, these are our babies. And he's ordering her, put these children down, as in kill them, or our relationship will be over and I'll find someone to birth me worthy children. And he's looking at the 4 boys, and he's like, these 4 boys are pathetic. They're worthless to me. They're not going to be able to carry out my legacy. And then he sees Saint Chan, and he's like, I see a fire burning in this girl's eyes. I can see her carrying out my legacy. I can see her being a very powerful, formidable opponent. Maybe one day she can strike me down and take what I've gained. And Saint Sai is scared out of her mind. She goes talks to some friends in her old village. She's scared out of her mind. Saint Girum's giving her a day to do something with those children. Either kill them or get rid of them. And Saint Sai's scared out of her mind. She goes to town and she meets Liu Bei. She actually meets Liu Bei in her town. He's trying to help villagers there. And he sees her cries. He sees that something's wrong, and he asks her, "What is wrong, my lady?" And she says, "I have issues at home that I cannot really talk about. They're quite personal." And he says, "You look like you definitely need someone to talk about." And she's very desperate. She can't find anyone. Her parents had passed away already. She doesn't have anyone in this village that she knows. So all she can do is talk to Liu Bei. And she tells him the story. And he says, "Well, I actually have a warrior that cannot have children, and he's actually looking for a son. He could actually take care of one of your children. I don't know about all of them, but he can take care of one of them." And that boy that he gave to Liu Bei ended up being Saint Kiru. And the young man that was looking to be a father, this is all fantasy, was Shu Shu. And this boy ended up training under Shu Shu and learning all of his techniques. This young man does not know anything of his background. He just knows that Shu Shu's his father, and he does not understand why his last name is Saint yet. We'll get to that in another storytelling episode, I'm not sure. But this young boy ended up being adopted by Shu Shu of the Shu forces. So with that in mind, Saint Sai is like, well, Saint Girum won't be able to find these children, not right now anyway, not for several years. If I separate all of them in their different locations, if she was to put all of them in Shu, all he'd have to do is crush Shu forces and that would be it. But she decided, well, I'm going to try to do what's best. So she decides to talk to the leaders of all the kingdoms. She somehow arranges an appointment with them, because now that she's somewhat a prestigious woman, her and her husband have several pieces of land. She's actually well known right now. She's able to talk with Sun. And he actually trains him as his own. Taishitsu is very excited. He's like, man, this is awesome. I've always wanted to have a son. And he fights for the Wu forces. These children do not even know that they're brothers. They don't even know why they have this last name. They just know that these respective people that are taking care of them, they believe that's their father. And they're just gonna train and be raised as normal children there. And Saint Washu was adopted by Pang De of the Wei Kingdom. Pretty big guy, but he trained under Pang De and became a very fierce warrior as well. And Saint Reno was actually picked up by the Jin forces, and he was trained by Guo Huai. And this is the safest way that Saint Sai, it's rough for a mother to let go of their children, but this is the only way that she could let them go right now at the time. It's the only thing she could think of safely letting them go. And all she could do is hope for the best. There's no way she could overpower his decision. It's not, modern times where I'm just gonna leave. Because look at this guy. He will kill you if you try to leave. He would just crush you. He's crushing innocent people in towns for power. So who's left behind is Saint Chan. And Saint Sai is trying to doll her up, make her pretty, trying to make her into a goody girl. And Saint Girum is having none of that. He's taking Saint Chan to battles with him. She is slowly and unconsciously, progressively attaining his evil ways and becoming so much like him. And that right now is where I am at the story. I don't really know. I'll probably work on more, make another video in the future, but right now this is where we're standing at. But these guys, they were just don't understand who they are. They don't understand anything. But hopefully I'll figure out something, make the story better in the future. If you guys want to add something, do so in the comment section or through PM if you're embarrassed by anything you may say. And yeah, what do you guys think about these character models? What do you guys think about the rough draft of the story? I don't know when I'm going to complete it, but this is all a fantasy story if anyone's wondering. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for listening in. And like I said, feel free to add anything to the story if you want to make it more dramatic, you want to make it more action-packed. But yeah, I guess storytelling time is over. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.